Accessories, accessories, accessories. New year, new accessories, and the same high-tech lowlife that you love. I've amassed a couple of these Steam Deck accessories. Hopefully, by the end of this video, we'll determine whether or not these accessories are worthy. The truth is, I can't really call this a Steam Deck accessory. Not in good faith anyways, but we're gonna go ahead and call it one anyways. This right here is the Google Chromecast with Google TV. What a mouthful. The hell is this anyways? Well, it's simply put a dongle that you stick into your TV's HDMI port. Inside this box is everything you need to get started. It's a pretty nice box. It's no premium unboxing experience, but it's something alright. You know why I talk about the unboxing experience? It's simple really. The unboxing experience can really set the tone for what kind of product we're really dealing with. So in this box right here is the dongle itself. It's some kind of hockey puck affixed to an HDMI cable. But that's okay, because that oval-shaped puck basically houses the entire system. You just plug this into a TV, and on the other end, in this box right here, is a controller. Now, what kind of controller is this? Well, it's a very bare bones controller. This controller here is tiny, and if you lose this controller, you're basically fucked. And it's gonna be easy to lose because of how small it is. So be sure to not lose this controller. So the top of the controller really reminds me of the old click wheel that iPods used to have. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. I think Apple may have patented that. So this is just the arrow keys. You've got a back button, a home button, mute, Google Assist, dedicated Netflix and YouTube buttons, and a volume rocker. Controllers with built-in streaming service buttons suck. They could have replaced those two buttons with literally anything more functional than launching YouTube or Netflix. And inside here is the power brick and USB Type-C cable. In here is a USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable. You guys can figure out which end goes where. And yeah, there's also like some legal documentation and stuff. And you wouldn't want to be turned into a human Sentai pad, so definitely read those legal agreements. Now, we could definitely talk about Studio Ghibli movies. They look great. We can also talk about the fact that I prefer subbed over dubbed. But we're here to talk about the Steam Deck. How does a streaming box relate to a Steam Deck at all? Game streaming. That's right, you can stream from your Steam Deck onto the Google Chromecast. We'll be using the Steam Link app. It's pretty simple to set up, but it's not most people's preferred solution for game streaming. But it works in a pinch, really. Now, I'm not saying it's the best experience, but you know what? It's pretty cool. Obviously, the main issue here is input delay. As you can see here, there's quite a bit of input delay. Obviously, this is due to the fact that both the Steam Deck and the Chromecast are running off Wi-Fi. For streaming setups like this, you'll want the host PC to be plugged into Ethernet at all times. Obviously, that's not going to happen with the Steam Deck. So casting the Steam Deck to the Chromecast isn't really an ideal solution for playing off the TV. But of course, what if you're playing a single player game and you want someone to watch you? For that use case, it works pretty well. The good news is with remote play, you can still use your main Steam Deck screen to play, and there's no input latency there. But obviously, this setup isn't really ideal for action-oriented games. But for games like turn-based strategy games, or perhaps JRPGs, or even games like the Jackbox Party, this is actually a pretty cool setup. There are other applications you can use to stream to the Steam Deck, and arguably better options as well, like Moonlight. But honestly, at that point, you may as well just stream your desktop instead of your Steam Deck, you know? You can connect controllers to this Chromecast via Bluetooth. If you hardwire both your desktop and your Google Chromecast, it would actually be a pretty good setup. Yes, that's what my Chromecast does now. It streams my desktop to my TV. You can also use this dongle to stream GeForce Now, or Amazon Luna, or Google Stadia, at least before they shut it down. RIP Google Stadia. So yeah, the Google Chromecast is one heck of a time, and it's really cheap as well. Next up is this SD card right here. What is it? Well, it's the SanDisk Extreme. I picked up this bad boy during Black Friday. What makes this SD card so special? Well, it's supposed to be the cream of the crop, at least in terms of Steam Deck use. The main advantage this SD card has over other SD cards is the write speed. Compared to your more typical SanDisk Ultras, this writes a lot faster. Meaning, in theory, data transfers as well as game installs should be a lot faster. But read speeds are pretty much identical to the SanDisk Ultra, meaning it doesn't load games any faster. Still though, this SD card is the cream of the crop for the Steam Deck. but my ultimate recommendation would be to wait for another sale. And next up is this JSAUX backpack. I've actually covered a fairly similar product on this channel, but this right here looks to be a better version of it. This right here looks more like an actual backpack than anything else really, but it is ultimately form-fitted for the Steam Deck. I'm not gonna lie to you, the camera work really wasn't that great this video, but I could not figure out how to film it better, so here we go. This case in particular has multiple different pockets for multiple different accessories, and of course, the Steam Deck itself. And this is where the Steam Deck would live. It's a pretty good case, and I do think there's a use case for a case like this given how durable the outside is. It's a fairly small case, but it is a sling bag, and you can carry your Steam Deck with you. Maybe you want to game outside, maybe you're taking the Steam Deck on a camping trip with you. In that case, this case here would be perfect. And finally, the big kahuna. These two boxes were sent over to me by VOLTME, a company that specializes in making power accessories. In this case, I'm checking out their power brick and charger cable. This charger brick in particular is a 140 watt gallium nitrate charger with multiple different plugs. So why a gallium nitrate charger? Well, it's quite simple really. They're more efficient and they're more powerful. Not to mention they can be smaller than other bricks of their kind as well. They do make smaller blocks that charge at lower capacities. But in this case, we're going to check out their big kahuna. It has two USB Type-C ports and one USB Type-A port. All of these ports are PD capable. The one USB Type-C port will be prioritized more than the other one if you have multiple devices charging. VOLTME were also kind enough to send me their 100 watt USB Type-C cable. This one in particular is 6 inches. This cable right here is definitely USB PD compliant. It definitely goes up to 100 watts, but the Steam Deck really doesn't need 100 watts. You only really need like a 45 watt cable. But having a higher capacity cable and charger can future-proof you, especially if you decide to dock your deck with multiple different accessories, you know? So I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move and break out 2 Steam Decks. Now, was this totally overkill? I mean, yeah, but like who cares, right? I can charge 2 Steam Decks at once, or a Steam Deck and a MacBook if I had one, or a Steam Deck and my phone, and something else. 140 watts may be a bit excessive for a single device, but for multiple devices, I think it's a perfect amount. But a charger this big may not necessarily be for everyone, because after all, the Steam Deck does come with its own charger. I wouldn't recommend a gallium nitrate charger if you're just looking to charge one device, but if you're looking to charge multiple devices at once, then yeah, definitely pick one up. Since the filming of this video though, this charger has really situated my wire situation, so to speak. It's a lot less messy and there's a lot less wires just strewn about this office. And that alone makes this charger worth it. And of course, last but not least, this JSAUX dock adapter. As you know, Valve's official Steam Deck dock doesn't really play all that well with cases. But with this dock adapter, all you have to do is slide your official Valve dock into this adapter, and voila. See, this little piece right here doesn't really do anything without Valve's official dock because, well, it's a dock accessory. Huh, that's weird. It's a good first step, but ultimately the other half of the equation is the cases themselves. The plug for Valve's dock doesn't really fit a lot of cases because it's very form-fitted, and yes, some companies took notice of this issue, such as D-Brand. D-Brand's solution is this USB Type-C extender. This will be an added bonus for anyone that pre-ordered a Project Kill Switch initially. This works, but I think it may prefer JSAUX's solution instead, which is to cut out a piece of the case right in the back right here. And as you can see here, they've redesigned their standard case. This is their slightly redesigned case with a kickstand. As you can see here, it's got a more robust kickstand. And as you can see here, the little charging port area has a cutout for the Valve dock. So yeah, now that I'm rocking this case, I can now use the official Valve dock. If you like high-tech lowlife, you should check out the rest of my channel. And if you like the rest of my channel, you should like, subscribe, and spread the good gospel of high-tech lowlife. Furthermore, we have a community Discord server. There's a link in the description down below. Check us out.